welcome fellow bookworms to Brisden. My name is Whitney. We are on week 3 of our 31 days of Halloween. I did not give you guys an update or anything yesterday. I didn't even hop on to film. So Friday, I had a bunch of chores to do and I was feeling kind of restless. So I ended up checking out one of the little thrift stores we have in town, and I got a whole stack of books for a really, really great price for some of these. And plus with the other errands and such, I didn't get home till late. And so on Saturday, I got up early and went with my mother-in-law, and we hit some yard sales. Found like a bread box, a spice rack, some cute little mugs, and then I also found this Raggedy Ann and Andy's Giant Treasury. So it has 4 adventures plus 12 short stories. This is by Johnny Gruel, and yeah, this is such a great find. It's actually the museum was doing like a estate sale, and I found this in there. They had a bunch of other doll books and such, but this one, since it actually has stories, the other ones were like more educational, where this one was actual stories, and the illustrations are amazing. And it has a little newspaper article hidden inside as well. So my point is, I did not get a lot of reading done, and I also just didn't feel like getting on and filming yesterday because we went early, and then my husband and I hung out with my mother-in-law all day, helped her with some chores and such. So as far as reading goes, on Friday I read about 100 pages of The Hollow Places by Kingfisher, and I read about 100 pages yesterday as well. So I have just over 100 pages left because there's 337 pages, and I'm on page 213. So yeah, this is what I'll be continuing today. We're gonna be carving our pumpkins today, so I'll do a before and after picture for you guys. And then I do have some chores that we need to catch up on. So I will be listening to Daughters of No World, and then once we're done with the chores for the day, I'm gonna finish this up and hopefully jump into another teen horror book. I think last I mentioned was The Beach by R.L. Stine. But I might do Duncan Wood. I'll just see when I finish this up and how I'm feeling, and that will kind of determine what I pick up today. But definitely we'll be able to finish. This is really fast paced. I did not spend a lot of time Friday or yesterday reading this, so it is really, really fast paced. So that's kind of the update for today. I know it's not much of one, and kind of starting off week 3 a little bit rocky. But hopefully these last 2 weeks of the month I can just slam out some reads. I'm really hopeful I have some fast reads, and then there are a couple that are going to be a bit chunkier and harder to get through. So anyway, I will see you in just a moment for tomorrow's update and plan. Okay, so we are on day 17 today. Yesterday, I listened to a good chunk of Daughter of No Worlds. I'm down to about 6 hours, but as we were doing our jack-o'-lanterns and doing chores and such, I had it going. So I got a good chunk of that listened to. I'm going to listen to more today because I got to be on the computer this morning and such. But other than that, the only thing I did get read, I finished up The Hollow Places by T. Kingfisher, which I love this book so much. Can't wait to talk more about this. But yeah, this was really, really good. Really enjoyed it. So I finished that up. I did start, or I got through at least like the introduction portion of the Inferno. I didn't read the actual introduction, but they had like a little bit about the author and like a timeline of his life, and then like summaries of the cantos. So I read all the summaries, but the actual introduction, I already got like a synopsis already, so I didn't really worry about that. I just kind of skimmed through it. And then there is like a good chunk of this book is actually like endnotes and such. So I'm not going to be reading those. My plan is I just want to read the actual Inferno. So you can see this middle portion here is the Inferno. This was the introduction, and then this big chunk is all endnotes. And so I'm not going to worry about that. Like to me, I'll do that like if I do a reread of the book and I really want to deep dive more into the meaning and such, and read it more like in a scholarly fashion, then I'll worry about endnotes, but that's for a different time. I just want to actually read the Inferno. So that's the plan for later on today after I'm off the computer. Like I said, I'll listen to Daughter of No Worlds while I'm editing and doing stuff on the computer, and then when I'm off, I'll pick this up. I think this will be the only thing I pick up today. It just depends on how long I'm on the computer and when I can pick this up. But this will probably be it for today. But if I have time later on, I have 3 options to pick up later on. I still need to continue with my teen horror books. So next up is Beach House by R.L. Stine. But we'll see if I'm filling this. I haven't really been filling the teen horror the last couple days. And then the other 2 options are either Salem's Lot by Stephen King or Gallant by V. Schwab. I'm leaning more towards Gallant next just because it's going to be a quick read, and since my pace has been so slow, like I'm really going to have to pick it up, and reading a quick read should help me feel more motivated, I would think, where this one's 600 pages and it's going to take a bit to get through. But so yeah, we'll just see what I'm feeling though when I get to that point. Like I said, I doubt it'll be today, but if it is, that's kind of where I'm leaning. I still need to pick up Duncan Wood again. I don't know. I think my plan is to try to get through some of these teen horror books, because I have the teen horror books and then whatever book I'm reading in the moment plus Duncan Wood. So I think I want to try to knock out all the teen horror books this week, and then I can get back to Duncan Wood next week while I finish up any of my other reads that I need to do. Because Duncan Wood, even reading just 50 pages, is taking a little bit of time. So we'll just have to see how that goes, because just breaking it down I thought was a good idea, but it hasn't been working out so well because 1, I want to read more, and 2, it is taking a chunk of time. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. But yeah, I'm excited to continue to listen to Daughter of No Worlds. It's kind of hard because audiobook's not my favorite, and I am having trouble like fully grasping the story, which I didn't have. I mean, I did a little bit with Priory of the Orange Tree, but for a fiction book, like I think because that one there was so much information, it was kind of repeated a lot, and so I was confused, which I would have been in the beginning of a physical book anyway. Um, and then after listening, to 10 hours or so of it, it finally kind of retained. But this one I'm really struggling with. I'm enjoying it though. So what I am grasping, I'm really enjoying. So I do want to try to get a physical copy of that book when I can. But yeah, I'm going to listen to that, and then I'll jump into The Inferno because I'm really excited to read that. And then we'll just see where the rest of the day takes me. So I'll be back in just a moment with tomorrow's update and, of course, what I'm going to be picking up tomorrow. So I'll see you in a second. All right, it is day 18, and this week is not off to a very good start. We're already on Tuesday, and I'm just not doing all that well. I've read 1 book. I finished All the Places. um, so yeah, I was on the computer for most of the day yesterday, and I did listen to a good chunk of Daughter of No Worlds. I'm down to like a little over 2 hours, because I listened to that. I was on the computer for most of the day, got off the computer, cooked dinner, then I fed the dogs, before finally sitting down. And when I finally sat down, I decided to play Dead by Daylight, which I do read in between matches, but it doesn't, you know, there's not a lot of time to read in between matches. So yeah, I decided not to read the Inferno by Dante because I wanted to play DVD, and this one, because of like the language and such, I did start it, but I realized quickly like this is one I need to focus on, not be distracted by other things while I'm reading it. So I decided to hold off on this one. I'm not gonna read this today. I'm not in the right frame of mind. My allergies are really bad today. So this one I'm gonna hold off. I am still going to read it this month because I really want to, and it's not going to be that long of a read, but it's one that I'm going to have to focus on, so I just want to be in a little bit of a better headspace. My eyes are really itchy today, and my nose is a little bit running. It's just allergy head. This is not the right headspace to read this one. So I'm going to hold off on this one. And so I did start Gallant last night. I read about 75 pages. I read it a little bit while I was playing DBD, but I mostly focused on that. And then I read it a little bit before bed, but again, allergy head, so I was really tired. But the artwork in this is just so stunning. I absolutely love it so far. So I'm gonna continue this today, and then because I'm getting a little bit overwhelmed, my goal is to read as many of the teen horror books as I can today. Because these are easy, quick reads, and so I feel like if I can knock these off my TBR, then it will look a little bit better. Because there's a lot of these, and I've read, there was like 16 of these, and I've read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 so far. So there's still 11 more of these to go, one of which has 2 stories plus a little short story. So yeah, I'm gonna start with the beach house and just see how many I can get knocked off. Hopefully, I don't have anything to do today other than laundry. So, and laundry, you put it in, it goes. So, yeah, that's the goal today, is just to finish Gallant, which is an easy read, and then knock out as many of these little teen books as I can, because definitely need to get them off the list so that way I can look at my TBR and go, oh, look, there's not as many books left. So that is it for today. I did forget to mention what I've been watching. So Friday, I watched an episode of The Midnight Club. I have like 4 episodes left, if I'm remembering right. So I'll try to sprinkle some episodes of that this week. Saturday, we watched this movie called The Cursed, I think. Um, it was like a historical, like scary, like plantation owner basically steals this land from the gypsies and murders them, and so then he gets cursed by the gypsies. And his son like turns into a werewolf and is like attacking um all his uh like servants and such, and his family. So yeah, we watched that. My husband picked that out, and I actually enjoyed it because I think it was on Hulu, I want to say, and they had the option where you could do like mildly scary, sort of scary, and like very scary. Um, and so we went very, very scary, and it wasn't scary, but I liked it. It was a good show. And then Sunday, I believe I played Dead by Daylight. I chose not to watch any, but Dead by Daylight's a horror game, so I figure it kind of counts. And then, let's see, yesterday, we watched, I played Dead by Daylight, and then we watched A Werewolf by Night or something like that. It's on Disney Plus. My husband and I watched it, and it was really, I enjoyed how they did it. It was like Marvel, but it was like black and white, so it had like this old timey feel. And it was a short show, so I enjoyed that too. So that's what we've been watching. Not sure what I'll watch tonight. Said I am gonna try to get an episode of the Midnight Club in somewhere because I want to finish that whole season. So that is kind of the plan for today, and hopefully when I come on tomorrow, I will have had an awesome reading day, because I tell you, this month, for being so ambitious, like I've been very slow reading this month. So anyway, I'll be back in just a second to let you know how I did. I'll be right back. All right, we are on day 19, and I had an okay reading day. It wasn't bad. I wish I would have read a little bit more, but I ended up playing Dead by Daylight a little bit. And then we watched The Lodge on Hulu, which I didn't enjoy it. My husband didn't enjoy it. So, but that's what we ended up watching, which I did read while we watched The Lodge because I wasn't really enjoying it. But I was kind of like, watching the movie like, what the heck is going on here? But during the day, I did finish Gallant by V.E. Schwab. So this one's done. I actually really, really enjoyed this book. I've seen like most people really enjoy it, but I have seen a few that didn't like it. I did mark this one quote. It says, "There is no rest in sleep. These dreams will be the death of me." And I definitely felt that because I struggle with insomnia. And then when I do sleep, I often dream very vivid dreams. And some of them, it feels like I don't get any rest when I dream those dreams. So, and I also did read the Beach House by R.L. Stine. This one, it was okay. Not my favorite. Like the logic of it, I was kind of like, what? And it had dual timelines, and I didn't think the transitions were all that smooth. But basically, you're the summer of 1956, and then the current summer, and there's this ominous beach house that is like built right on the water that sits empty, and then there's groups of friends in each timeline. So so yeah, I read that as well. And then I got through over half of Master of Murder by Christopher Pike. So I'm on page 120 and there's like 198 pages, I think. So I just have a little bit more to go. This is going to be the first thing I knock out this morning. And then after that, I really don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm in the right headspace today. I'm feeling pretty good today. And I think I'm in the right headspace to read the Inferno today. So after I finish Master of Murder, I'm hoping to pick this one up. But I'm not sure if I'm feeling that. I also want to get started on Salem's Lot by Stephen King. This is a chunky book. It's like 650 some pages. So I definitely need to get going on this one as well. I think with this one, I'm going to wait till this evening because I think this is one I'm going to enjoy reading more in the evening. So I think I'll probably read this evening and then tomorrow night, excuse me, as well. And so that's my plan. I'm not going to pick this up during the day today, but I do want to pick it up by this evening after my husband's home. That's probably what I'll switch to reading. And then, of course, I do want to continue on with the teen horrors. So next up would be The Babysitter 3 by R.L. Stine. I've kind of been going back and forth between R.L. Stine and Christopher Pike. And then I have Final Friends Book 1, The Party by Christopher Pike. And there's only 2 more Christopher Pike books after this one. And so, yeah, I will see, like I said, depending on how long the Inferno takes me, if I do end up picking it up. Otherwise, I might just go directly into these after Master of Murder. I really don't know. I'm just going to see how I feel and where the day takes me. So, hopefully I can get at least, you know, 2 more books knocked out today, whether that's these 2 or the Inferno and one of these. I'm not including Master of Murder since I'm almost done with that. So yeah, hopefully I can get 2 more books knocked out at least and then get started on Salem's Lot. But we'll just see where the day takes me. So that's kind of today's update. I'm not going to have a lot of time to read the next like 3 days because tomorrow I'm going to help my mother-in-law and I don't know how long I'll be over there. So I'm probably going to be more just reading in the evening tomorrow. Friday, I have to run into town and do some errands and such. And so that's going to take some time. And then I'll also be editing this week three's video and trying to get it up. I was late on week 2. So if I don't have time to do it, I'm not going to worry about it. I'll save it and do like I did with week 2 and just upload it when I have a chance. And then Saturday, my husband and I's 5-year wedding anniversary is on Friday, but we're gonna celebrate on Saturday because we want to go eat at Texas Roadhouse. And by the time he gets off work and such, they'll be way too busy on Friday evening. And so we're just gonna go in on Saturday, do some errands and such. The dogs need some more stuffies and we need to try to get Ani a harness because she outgrew hers, and I've been using Boo Boo's, but that's Boo Boo's harness, so I need to get her her own, and just a few other little things. And then we want to get to Texas Roadhouse earlier, like right after they open, so they're not as busy. So I'm not gonna have a lot of time to read the next 3 days. Which I need to knock out some of these books. So we'll just have to see how it goes. But I'll be back in just a moment for tomorrow's update and kind of let you know how I did today and then what I'm planning on reading tomorrow, because it'll definitely be dependent on what I get read today. So I'll see you in just a second. All right, we are on the 20th. And fortunately, today I do not have to go help my mother-in-law. She had something else come up, and so I can have another reading day. I'm pretty pleased with how yesterday went. I wasn't sure how quickly I could get through the Inferno, which is one of the main ones I read yesterday. Unfortunately for me, I was able to finish it and then read another book right before bedtime. So I finished The Master of Murder by Christopher Pike, and this is probably one of the more enjoyable ones, although still nothing great or anything like that. But I did finish that up, and then I did read The Inferno by Dante. I read each canto, and then I also, before I read the canto, I went to the front here because it has just like a little summary of each one. And so I went to the front, read the summary of each canto, which I had already read, but I just kind of read through. And then this time I just read each summary right before I read the canto, which really helped. And yeah, definitely some disturbing imagery there. But overall, did enjoy it. It was a little bit over my head. I do look forward to reading it in the future when maybe I don't have quite such an ambitious TBR, and going through the footnotes as I come, or the end notes rather, as I come across each one. They do have footnotes as well, which I read each time, but they were just like clarifying like little words, or like this is reference to this part in the last canto or whatever. But yeah, I'm actually really glad I read this. Not sure I'll pick up the other two of the Divine Comedy, but this one, yeah. And luckily, I didn't have any weird dreams. So, and then the next one, I did pick up one of the teen horror books. I went with the third horror by R.L. Stine. I mentioned yesterday that it would have been either The Babysitter 3 or one of the other Christopher Pike books, I think Final Friends. I kind of switched that around because I figured out which of these would fill in bingo spaces on Amy at A Star Reads bingo board, and this was one that worked for Ghost Story, so I ended up picking this up, and I kind of have the rest set out in the order of some that will fulfill some bingo board spots, and I'm short 3 spots, so I might look in some of like the uh Goosebump Arlstein books and see if any of those, because I need zombies, I need creepy crawlers, and I need cryptids. So I might see what I have on my shelf because I'm 3 spots from a blackout. And so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I did read this one. Didn't really enjoy this one. I remember reading it before, not really enjoying it. But it is what it is. So that got done as well. And then today, I'm not really sure what I want to do. I'm kind of feeling Dunkton Wood for the day today, and just see what I can get through since I haven't made any more progress on it and it is chunky. If I don't pick this up today, I'll probably do it this weekend's probably Saturday night into Sunday, and just see what I can get read since we're running out of time and I haven't made any more progress. And I've been wanting to read more of this. And this one would actually work for creepy crawlies because they like have worms and stockpiled and such. So yeah, I might pick this one up, or I might go with the next 2 teen horror books I need to get to, which we have Christopher Pike Chain Letter 2, The Ancient Evil, which this one works for Ancient Evil on the bingo board, which is why I put that up front. And then I picked the Snowman for scary cover, which does not be so scary to some people, but looking at all the covers that I had, this one, it just kind of has this like creepy, ominous feel to it that creeps me out compared to the others. Like the ones where they're more scary don't really scare me, but creepy, ominous ones always scare me. And the little snowman lost his head, and the writing, the font for the title, and everything. I don't know. It just kind of creeps me out. So I might pick up these 2, and then there's also, of course, a Salem's Lot by Stephen King, which I wanted to start yesterday. Um, and this one, again, I'm not going to read it during the day today. I'm probably going to save it for this evening, but I might start it during the day. I'm feeling more this evening, and then I can, especially since tomorrow's a busy day for me, I can read it this evening and then tomorrow evening, and then finish it up Saturday evening, because Saturday's also going to be a busy day. So that's kind of my thoughts on this. I probably won't pick this up till this evening, and we'll see, once I get settled and um, eat some breakfast and such, we'll see kind of what I'm feeling as far as the other books, but those are kind of on the agenda today, and so we'll just have to see which one I go with. So yeah, I will be back in just a second for week 3, the final day of week 3, which is tomorrow, the 21st. And I'll let you know how I did today and kind of my thoughts and plans for tomorrow, which most likely will just be Salem's Lot, but we'll kind of see what happens today. I'll be back in just a moment. All right, we are on day 21, which is the last day of week 3. And had a pretty good day yesterday. I'm happy with what I got accomplished anyway. I did add on another book because, as I mentioned just a moment ago, I said 3 spaces, there was actually 4 spaces on Amy at A Star Reads bingo board that I didn't have books for. So I ended up adding on the Abominable Snowman of Pasadena by R.L. Stine for cryptids. This is the only book I found. Obviously, Abominable Snowman is a cryptid, so I did read this one yesterday. It wasn't too bad. It was like 120 something, 127 pages. So not too bad. Got that read yesterday, and added it on at the last minute. There's also Circus, which I listened to Clifford at the Circus by Norman Bridwell. A nice short little like 8-minute read. I listened to it on audiobook. And so I listened to that for Circus. I'm gonna do Duncton Wood for Creepy Crawlers, and I forget the other one that I still had left. Zombies. Zombies is the other one. So for Zombies, I didn't listen to it yesterday. I found it this morning, and it was called Septic Zombie. It was done in 2012. It was written by a 7-year-old girl. She's obviously older now. She'd be about 17 now, I guess. And so a little short story, listen to it on Audible again for Zombies, because I only have one zombie book. Well, 2, but both of them were longer, and I'm still, didn't want to squeeze them in. So it was a short 20-minute listen. And so I listened to that this morning as I was getting ready and such, because I got to go into town and run errands. So I listened to that this morning. Last night I did read Chain Letter 2, The Ancient Evil. A little lost because I didn't read Chain Letter 1, but I figured out what was going on by the end. So I did read this yesterday as well, so that one's done. And then I read the next about 50 pages of Duncton Wood by William Horwood. So I got the next section read, and now I'm on to part 2. And I definitely need to read a section every day, or just devote a day to reading a big chunk of it if I'm going to get this finished, because I'm running out of time. So this one I might kind of devote the day on Sunday to it, or I don't know, I'll figure it out, but definitely going to try to read more the next section at least tonight. So I read that, and then I started Salem's Lot by Stephen King. I got about 60 pages in. Yeah, I got 60 pages in last night. I think this is going to go a lot quicker than I think it was going to go, because it's over 600 pages, but the writing, the font is pretty big, and so I think it's going to go a lot faster, because those 60 pages uh, I, I read pretty quickly. So that's the plan for today, is the next section of Duncton Wood, continue Salem's Lot. I might try to add in R.L. Stine, The Snowman, today if I have time. This is the next teen horror that's up. So there's that, and then I do need to do errands and be on the computer for a little while. So I'm hoping to finish Daughter of No Worlds. I have like 2 hours and 13 minutes left, and as I'm on the computer, doing bills and everything else, I think I can get that knocked out. So I should finish that today, and then continue on with these two and hopefully get to the Snowman. And I forgot to mention yesterday on Wednesday, I watched one more episode of The Midnight Club. So I have like 3 or 4 episodes left to go on that one. And I watched The Labyrinth. And then last night we watched The Curse of Bridge Hollow on Netflix, which was pretty cute and fun. And I'm not sure what we'll watch tonight. I'll probably try to watch something horror-esque, like maybe another episode of The Midnight Club before my husband gets home, because it's not his favorite, and it is our 5-year anniversary today. But it's not his favorite. He does not like watching horror shows or movies or anything like that. So I'll probably try to sneak something in, and that way we can watch. Probably we'll watch the Great British Baking Show and then maybe put on a movie tonight. We're not actually celebrating till tomorrow. But we'll try to find a movie both of us can enjoy for sure. So that's the plan for today. This is it for week 3. Only got a week left, and then, plus a couple days. So we'll just have to see how next week goes. I'm feeling a little bit more confident. I'm already decided I'm not reading the Dresden File books. I'm still burnt out. So that's at least 2 knocked off. And then I may not get to my ABC Author Challenge books. There's 2 of those. One's really short. The other one I think is going to be a little bit of a more difficult read. So I'm going to save those till very last. And if I don't get to them, they'll just roll over into November. So I have like my Circle Trilogy books. I have to finish Dunkton Wood. Um, and then I have Scythe by Neil Schusterman. I have that one still to read. So yeah, not too bad. And then plus the teen horror books I still have. So we'll see how it goes. But that is it for this week. Happy reading, everyone. Bye.